Discover Canada Study Questions. For more practice, go to CanadianCitizenshipTestKit.com. What was the result of the 1980 Quebec referendum on separation? A. A majority of Quebecers wanted to remain part of Canada. B. A majority of Quebecers voted that Canada was the best country in the world. C. A majority of Quebecers did not vote, so the referendum was cancelled. D. A majority of Quebecers voted to change the language of the province to English. The correct answer is A. A majority of Quebecers wanted to remain part of Canada.
How are lieutenants general chosen? A. They are appointed by the Governor-General on advice from the British Parliament. B. They are appointed by the Governor-General on advice from the Provincial Cabinet. C. They are appointed by the Governor-General on advice from the Prime Minister. D. They are appointed by the Governor-General on advice from the Premier of the province. The correct answer is C. They are appointed by the Governor-General on advice from the Prime Minister. What is the approximate number of refugees who came to Canada from Vietnam after the Vietnam War? A. 80,000. B. 50,000. C. 60,000. D. 70,000. The correct answer is B. 50,000. Which province is home to some of the world's richest deposits of fossils? A. Alberta. B. Saskatchewan. C. Manitoba. D. British Columbia. The correct answer is A. Alberta.
What is the best definition of the right to freedom of association? A. The right to join a group or organization. B. The right to join and leave a group or organization. C. The right to be part of an organized religion. D. The right to choose the food you eat and how to prepare it. The correct answer is B. The right to join and leave a group or organization.
What percentage of Canadian exports are sold to the USA? A. More than 75%. B. Less than 40%. C. Approximately 50%. D. Approximately 85%. The correct answer is A. More than 75%.
What four principles is the Canadian legal system based on? A. The rule of law, freedom under the law, democratic principles, and due process. B. The rule of freedom, democracy under the law, legal principles, and due process. C. The rule of law, freedom from the law, quasi-democratic principles, and due process. D. The rule of law, habeas corpus, democratic principles, and Magna Carta. The correct answer is A, the rule of law, freedom under the law, democratic principles, and due process. What happens if the cabinet loses the confidence of the House? A, they must resign, which normally results in new elections. B, they must choose a new prime minister. C, they must try to pass the same bill again. D, they must let the other political parties try to form a government. The correct answer is A, they must resign, which normally results in new elections. With regards to the Québécois, what did the House of Commons recognize in 2006? A, that the Québécois also speak English. B, that the Québécois form a nation within a united Canada. C, that the Québécois are a separate part of a united Canada. D, that the Québécois speak only French. The correct answer is B, that the Québécois form a nation within a united Canada.
In Canada, who is not required to always follow the law? A, police officers. B, judges. C, politicians. D, everyone is required to follow the law. The correct answer is D, everyone is required to follow the law.
What are the people who are elected in federal elections called? A, members of the House of Assembly, MHAs. B, members of the National Assembly, MNAs. C, members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs. D, members of Parliament, MPs. The correct answer is D, members of Parliament, MPs.
What is a bylaw? A, a law that is made by the government. B, a law that only affects the local community where it is made. C, a law that is made by the people. D, a law that is only for a single province. The answer is B, a law that only affects the local community where it is made.
How long has the crown been a symbol of the state in Canada? A, 400 years. B, since 1867. C, 200 years. D, since 1982. The correct answer is A, 400 years. What does the phrase, brethren dwelling together in unity, refer to? A, the fact that Canada and the USA have close ties and common interests. B, the fact that a lot of families have members on both sides of the Canada-USA border. C, the fact that Fathers of Confederation and the American Founding Fathers were in fact related to each other. D, the fact that Canada and the USA sometimes disagree on important matters. The correct answer is A, the fact that Canada and the USA have close ties and common interests.
Why was the Bank of Canada created in 1934? A, to compete with banks in other countries. B, to act as a national bank. C, to bring stability to the Canadian financial system. D, to store the government's gold. The correct answer is C, to bring stability to the Canadian financial system. Today, who does the term Aboriginal peoples refer to? A, Indians, Inuit, and Métis. B, Indians and Inuit. C, Aboriginals, Inuit, and Métis. D, Indians and Métis. The correct answer is A, Indians, Inuit, and Métis. Where are the soldiers, sailors, and airmen who died serving Canada remembered? A, on plaques in the cities or towns where they grew up. B, in the books of remembrance in the Peace Tower. C, on the National War Memorial in Ottawa. D, in libraries around the country. The correct answer is B, in the books of remembrance in the Peace Tower.
What did the Constitutional Act grant to Canada for the first time? A, responsible government. B, elected legislative assemblies. C, appointed legislative assemblies. D, a governor general. The correct answer is B, elected legislative assemblies. Approximately how many square kilometers are there in Canada? A, 20 million. B, 10 million. C, 7 million. D, 34 million. The correct answer is B, 10 million.
Which of these is an example of a responsibility of citizenship? A, learning to play Canadian sports. B, saluting the flag of Canada. C, serving on a jury. D, opening a shop for people from your country. The correct answer is C, serving on a jury.
Discover Canada study questions. For more practice, go to CanadianCitizenshipTestKit.com.